Reefer specific policies. Again, I'm going to go over this again. When you're picking up or dropping trailers at plants or just dropping in our yard, please note the following items. Make sure the air suspension has been deflated to avoid damage to the suspension and landing gear. All trailers are to be dropped full of fuel and washed out or satisfactorily clean and clean enough to load meat for the next driver. When picking up a new trailer that you are not currently assigned to, please ensure to complete a trailer inspection report, making note of the hours, mileage, and any pre-existing damage. This is a cover your ass situation so that if you pick up a trailer with damage, you've made note of it, and hopefully the driver that dropped it has also made note of it. Our goal is to not have anyone blamed for damage that did not occur while in their care and control. And damages will happen, we understand that, and each situation for damage is treated individually. Washouts. Before loading any meat or meat products, use your discretion, but a good rule of thumb is if you're loading meat, always wash your trailer out. It's not necessary to do a soap wash, but a good rinsing out with fire hose or similar alternative is a good idea. We do have accounts in Winnipeg, Brandon, and Saskatoon. Winnipeg, we use Scotty's Wash, 1860 Brookside Boulevard. Saskatoon Wash World in Saskatoon, and Blue Water Wash in Brandon. We do have a charge accounts at all three of these locations. All three locations are authorized to do exterior washing as well, so that we can keep our equipment clean and shiny and look good down the road. If you need to wash a trailer out and you pay cash or with your debit card, please ensure to submit a receipt to the office by email the day that it happens so you can be reimbursed. All receipts should be submitted the day, when it occurs, but no later than the pay cutoff. They are entered into the system the day they are received. If you're dropping trailers in Winnipeg outside business hours and you can't get a washout done at Scotty's or any of the other locations, let us know and we'll give you alternate instructions. Trailer loading. A good rule of thumb to use for trailer loading is plan your loads at using 1 foot for 925 pounds. So if you have a 44,000 pound load, this would need to be distributed over 48 feet. Example, 44,000 divided by 925 is 47.57 feet. Always try to spread heavier loads over 48 feet, not 53. Things to keep in mind: one pallet will use 2 feet of trailer space or half a pallet position. There are 13 positions in a 53-foot trailer. If you have 22 pallets, that shipment will use 44 feet of space. But in the event that these 22 pallets are 44,000 pounds, you'll want to use the full 48 feet to make sure you can scale it okay. To calculate how many singles to put in a load, you can do a pretty simple calculation. 22 pallets minus 12 pallet positions for the 48 feet gives you 10 double positions. The 2 extra pallets will need to be singled out near the nose to get the weight distributed evenly. Always remember that pulling a reefer means that you have extra weight on the nose of your trailer. So if using the same math, you can figure out how to load any trailer of any pallet size. So 19 pallet load would be 19 pallets minus 12 positions would give you 19 pallets minus 12 equals 7 doubles and 5 singles. 20 pallets minus 12 is 8 doubles, 4 singles, etc., etc. The more you do it and the more that you watch how trailers are loaded, the more this will make sense. A lot of the shippers nowadays know how to evenly load trailers so that you're not going overweight at any one kind. But always be aware when you close your doors to look in the back of the trailer. If it looks like you have a heavy load with lots of room at the back, chances are the trailer's been loaded incorrectly. And make sure you tell the shipper, I'm going to go scale this and I'll come back if it's overweight and I can't axle weigh it. But always make sure that you scale that load and you're happy with the weights before sealing the trailer or departing the shipper without at least telling them, hey, I might be back to have this reworked. So now I'm going to talk a little bit more about your loads. We do a lot of meat. 40% of our work are meat loads, either from Canada to the US or US to Canada. Something to watch for, and most shippers will provide to us in Canada, is the documentation needed. There's going to be 5 things that you're going to get when you're picking up a meat load from Maple Leaf, especially. One is a bill of lading. Now, something to watch for on the bill of lading is make sure that the trailer number you're picking up matches the trailer number on your bill of lading. There's also a seal number, and that must correspond to the seal number on the back of the trailer. Security will have checked this, but it's also up to you to double check that as well. With export loads, there's also going to be a second seal number that will be with your documentation that USDA will reseal your trailer with. Number 2, a meat inspection document or 9540. This is what needs to be signed at USDA when you're crossing the border. So every meat load, unless it's an in-bond shipment, it needs to stop at the border and be inspected by USDA. Once inspected, USDA will stamp the document, the 9540, with a stamp that says inspected and passed with their inspection facility number. The one we use most are I-154 at Pembina, North Dakota, and I-264 at Sweetgrass, Montana. Number 3, you'll receive a customer's pro forma invoice. Number 4, a CFI inspection certificate or a health certificate. And 5, a packing slip. Again, this is very important. All loads containing meat or meat products must stop at USDA meat inspection before entering the U.S. Failure to do so directly impacts our customers, as we may be asked to return that load to inspection if it's caught before distribution. If it's caught after distribution, we don't have enough insurance to recover the consequences. Now, something to note, Maple Leaf will give you specific envelopes when you pick up a shipment there that are designated for the USDA, the customer, and yourself. Once you're cleared at the USDA facility, you should be a copy of the 9540 should be returned to you, which will be marked inspected and passed. If you do not receive this 95 form after your inspection, contact dispatch. Never leave USDA without having the stamped copy returned to you. For your first 3 to 4 months after your start of employment, I ask that you email a copy of this document before you leave USDA to the office, so that we have that assurance that you are learning the process, and we can assure our customers that we do have a top-notch training program where we're teaching our drivers to make this stop without fail. Meat inspection appointments. Please check with dispatch for the hours of operation of the various meat inspection facilities. Each one of your dispatches will include a stop for the meat inspection facility that your load will be required to attend for inspection. Please make note that most of our inspections will happen at Pembina, North Dakota, and most times it's on a Saturday morning. They're Monday to Friday. They're open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and they do inspections on Saturday mornings at 6 a.m. This appointment will have been scheduled by dispatch. If you're not in the lineup for 6 a.m. Saturday morning, you will not be inspected, and you'll be asked to return Monday morning during regular business hours for inspection. They are very strict about this policy. There's specific policies about where to park, what you need to do. But the big thing to remember is if you are not in that lineup by 6 a.m. Saturday morning, you will have to wait until Monday morning to be inspected. Produce pickups. When loading produce, we will send your Axon dispatch out the day before loading if we have it. We will also send you out a copy of the original load tender in the attachments section of your Axon link application that we have received from our customer. When you get that dispatch, call the shippers as soon as practical, but no later. Do it the day before, but if you have to, do it the same day as you dispatch. You will most likely have to make appointments. Dispatch does not do produce pickup appointments for you. If you're unsure about how to schedule your pickups, call dispatch. Will help you out. Most times, the order of pickups will depend on the appointment times you can schedule and what makes sense. Second, when you call for your appointments, confirm the piece count, pallet count, and weight. The piece count will be on the load tender that I have gotten from the produce broker and forwarded to you. If there's any discrepancies between the piece count ordered and the piece count loaded, let us know before leaving that shipper so we can let our customer know, and this may avoid us having to return to pick up more product. Finally, if you run into a problem where your gross weight of all your pickups will result in you being overweight, call dispatch. We will work with you to ensure that you do not have to run overweight, and we will find a solution for you for that problem. Lastly, always confirm your temperature on your bill of lading with what we are being provided on the load tender. If there's a difference, call dispatch, and we will confirm with our customer what the correct temperature is for the load. If you follow these steps with produce pickups, everything should go relatively smooth. We will do our best to help you out to learn this process, as it's a learning process. Waiting time. We allow 2 hours for loading and 2 hours for unloading free of charge. Again, we attempt on all our loads to collect $50 an hour past this first 2 hours, but it is not always probable or possible. If we're unable to collect this waiting time from a customer, we will not pay it forward. If something to keep in mind, and we went over this on the Axon link video, is to always update your dispatch statuses, i.e. arrived, shipper, picked up, arrived, consignee, delivered. Secondly, if you follow the process of marking your time in and time out on the bill of lading,